Good morning. This is Jeannie again with an encouraging story about the Lord's goodness and His timing and how He's perfect in every way. This video is called Raising the Dead. I've seen two people raised from the dead personally, just because that's what God wanted to do. So I lived in San Francisco at the time, and I was working in Burlingame. And all of a sudden I had this urgency to leave work early, which I had the flexibility to do. So I said, well, I'm going to go get my cat food, which was on a street called Judah, going down to the beach in San Francisco. That street gets very busy, and I thought, this is good. I'll get there early and I'll get off the street before all the traffic comes, which is between 3, 4, and 5. So as I'm driving down the street, I'm amazed that there's just no traffic anywhere, and there's lots of businesses on that street and a lot of people going to the beach. And I reasoned, well, it's the middle of the week, so I just need to hurry up and get my stuff and get off the street. But as I kept driving block by block, I kept noticing there's no traffic. So that's the quicker way to go if there's no traffic. So I stayed on that street. And all of a sudden, I saw a man in the middle of the street waving and trying to flag me off of the street. I saw another man laying in the street and another man just wandering around in the street. So I thought, okay, there's a problem here. So I pulled into the gas station and I told the man, look, I used to work for the emergency service. How can I help? And he said, this guy fell off the train and cracked his head and he needs help. I said, okay, you go call 911 and I'll go check on the guy. So I went to kneel down by the guy, and his friend came over. He was in quite a bit of shock and kind of rambling. Is he going to be okay? Is he going to be okay? And I said, well, I'm checking his vitals now. I want you to go sit on the curb and wait for me. So he went and sat down, and I began to take the vitals on this man. But as I looked at him, I noticed he was not breathing, and he had no pulse rate, and his eyes were rolled back in the back of his head. He had hit his head really hard. And I was like, oh my God, okay, this guy's dead. I need to do something. Is CPR 5 chest compressions and 1 breath, or 3 and 1 breath? And while I'm contemplating this, I put my hand on the man and began to pray in the Spirit. I thought that would help me decipher what's the best way to help this guy till the ambulance and the fire department got there. But as I was praying in the Spirit, I noticed his eyelid twitched. So I said, well, this is working. So I kept praying in the Spirit. Now the man was laying on the ground on his back, half twisted from his waist, and his legs were all crumpled behind him and his arms flailed out. And I didn't know if his back was broken or what. So I just kept praying in the Spirit. And all of a sudden I noticed his body straightened out like a plank. And then his arms came together on his side. And so I just kept praying in the Spirit because this is good. This guy's alive now. And the man sat up and tried to get up. Now, anybody who works in the emergency service knows when you've had a traumatic accident like that, you don't want the people sitting up. And since I was mostly still in my flesh, I kept trying to make the man lay down. And he kept saying, no, no, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Well, now he's standing up, and the fire department has arrived, and the ambulance has arrived, and they check the man over and say the man is fine. So his other friend came running over to me, thank you so much. And I said, what happened? And he said, my friend and I were riding on the outside of the train, filming as we were going down the street to the beach. And then we noticed there was a train coming up towards us. And these trains travel very fast and very close. And he said, I said to my friend, this train is going to smash us unless we jump. So they jumped off the train. He jumped and rolled. His friend was not as fortunate. And when he landed, he smashed his skull on the ground. And so he was very grateful that his friend was still alive, and I was very grateful that God intervened that day, because the whole point of God moving me in that direction that day was because it was not that man's time. and the Lord gave him back his life. So as I was leaving and getting in the car, the gas station owner, he said, you know, God rewards things like that. And I got in my car and I was getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden the gravity and the awesomeness of God hit me of what really occurred that day. He saved that man's life. And I was so not in the spirit and not being spiritual, but he used me because I was willing. He used me because he needed somebody there, and he knew that he could get me there. So I just want to say to you, your footsteps are ordered of the Lord. Don't worry about your perfections. It's about the perfection of the cross. Enjoy this story. Let it raise your faith and your belief in his ability to use you. Have a great day. God bless you. May the blessings and favor of God fall on you all day long with his love and grace. Have a great day. Bye.